Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are in yet again a 737. However, this time it's the new LevelUp 737NG version 2 on Explain 12.4. First time using both the sim and the plane because I've been on Microsoft Flight Simulator for a little while now. I got addicted to the PMDG. There we are at LaGuardia. And we'll be flying to Quebec, Trudeau Airport. Right, hopping into the cockpit. Start with the batteries, emergency exit lights. Okay, new sounds. And also you may notice that the library from version 1 works. That's why I've got libraries already. Something seems to be starting up. Okay, IRSs, let's align those. Hopefully they don't take too long. Oops. That's not test. Navigation lights set to steady. Something about the ND looks different in this version. And your standby altimeter is set. As always with this plane, I like to do the weights first. Or snap. I need to download PDF and put that in my AviTab. Let's see, charts. Right, oops. There we go. So 04 weight is currently 95,028. So 125,484 minus 95,028. That's the payload, 30,456. Let's see, 726 divided by 2. There we go. Oops. Right. For fuel, I need 12,000 pounds of fuel. 12,074, which includes final reserve, which is 30 minutes of flight and another 30 minutes to get to the alternate airport. So I can hold the fuel truck. Something should start changing here. Map out of dates. Oh, they've really put some dust on all the screens. Some lint here, dust here. Interesting. We are in Kilo Lima Golf LGA Alpha. Flying to Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima. There we go, flight number DAL 5531. Flying via Grecki. Juds. Cam. Let's see which cam are we heading to. Cambridge. Coordinates should be here. 4259, so that's the first one. Okay, so back to page 2. Cambridge. Just to do Americans actually use airways, or they just go direct waypoint to waypoints? Peaburg, and then CYUL, where we're expecting runway 24 right, ILS. Via Carter 5. Yep. Peaburg Trans. Right. Which is done performance. Okay, looks like the foil is already loaded and the IRSs have aligned. So they're just setting up. Zero 4 meters 125.5. Go back to page 1. I'll just put 6 for trip and taxi and 6.1 for final reserve and alternative airports. Cost index should be 12. Cruising altitude should be 35,000 feet. Cruise wind 257 at 054. And I'll make it cooler. Right, time to make a change. I want the probes to be, aspirated probe. So So that sets it at 1 degree, which is the same as outside. Before getting outside, probably should tune to ATIS. Two weeks off, X-Plane 12, and I can't quite remember stuff. I kind of have to pause for a second. Flight altitude is 35,000 feet. ATIS is 125. .95. Silence 127.05 perhaps might work. Okay, I think I see what the problem is.
300 feet. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Broken at 6500 feet. Broken at 25,000 feet. Temperature 1. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise
I'm not sure what's going on with SayIntentions, but it seems like anytime I adjust the headset, it turns off the volume for ATC.
Departing runway 31.
Let me restart it. Starting SayIntentions, and then it came up on the wrong window.
Information Tango. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Visibility 10. Sky condition.
Still the same problem, so I think I'm just going to have to leave that alone. I'm just going to increase the volume and then listen. I guess in real life you don't have speech to text features, do you?
Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. LaGuardia Airport. Information Tango. 1751 Zulu. Arriving runways 31, 22. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Broken at 6500 feet. Broken at 25,000 feet. Temperature 1. Dew point -16. Altimeter 2965. Density altitude -1300 feet. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. LaGuardia Airport. Information Tango. 1751 Zulu. Arriving runways 3122. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Broken at 6500 feet. Broken at 25,000 feet. Temperature 1. Dew point -16. Altimeter 2965. Density altitude -1300 feet. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. LaGuardia Airport. Information Tango. 1751 Zulu. Arriving runways 3122. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Broken at 6500 feet. Broken at 25,000 feet. Temperature 1. Dew point -16. Altimeter 2965. Density altitude -1300 feet. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Yeah.
LaGuardia Airport. Information Tango. 1751 Zulu. Arriving runways 3122. Departing runway 31. Wind 29 or 5 at 19 or gusting 36. Ions in progress near the de-icing pad. Advise on initial contact. You have
Alright, I've gotten the ATC information, alternate departure runway, etc. Basically, ready to start pushing back. Fuel pumps are on. CPU bleed starts. Hydraulics are on as well. So we are Delta 5531. Let's tune into the departure frequency. Well, not departure frequency. Delivery 121.85 should be. Okay, I think it's already tuned in. LaGuardia delivery, Delta 5531. Request clearance to Quebec. We're ready to copy. Okay. 1 to 1.87 perhaps.
Peterborough ground, citation 97698, request push and start information gate.
Feet. Temperature 1. Dew point -16. Altimeter 2965. Density altitude -1300 feet. Unknown drone activity in the vicinity of the airport. Helicopter operations in progress near the
Yo,
device
Dampo.
pad. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. LaGuardia Airport. Information Tango. 1751 Zulu.
Information Tango. LaGuardia clearance, Delta 5531 IFR to Quebec. Information Tango ready to copy. How do you get the rings to pop up?
This is what COM 1 sounds like. This is what COM 2 sounds like.
No word listing on 1 to 1.865, which is not what I'm on. So I think the problem I'm having is that the radios are missing a number. And I just need to remember how to change that. 3 decimal digits, there we go. 875. Let's try again. LaGuardia clearance, Delta 5531 IFR to Quebec, information Tango, ready to copy.
Delta 5531, LaGuardia clearance, say destination airport.
I better get the name right. Destination airports, Pierre Elliott Trudeau International, Quebec.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Standing by, Delta 5531.
Delta 5531, cleared to Montreal. Radar vectors Greek. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 3000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 120.800, squawk 3662. Expect runway 31.
Right, have I made a mistake? Let's go back here and see you.
JetBlue 4917 requesting IFR clearance to Memphis.
Declared to Montreal, Delta 5531. Yeah, I think that was my mistake. No. Right, EPU is on. Generators are on the bus. APU bleed on. Packs on trim air. Plus 2 1 to 1.7. Nope, ground is 1 to 1.7. LaGuardia ground, Delta 5531, ready for pushback and engine start.
Delta 5531, LaGuardia ground, pushback and engine start approved, tail northwest.
Tail northwest, Delta 5531. Northwest, where's that? Oops. So we're facing north. So we're going to be facing this direction. Yeah. And that's runway 31 where there's a queue. I'll mess around with this because I'm quite used to seeing the rings around it. Let's drive all the way.
Pushback approved, tail southwest.
Close the doors, disconnect the GPU. Buckwell is in. And do a takeoff configuration warning tech checks. So that's good. Oops. At this point, let's move to the engine start part of things.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
LaGuardia ground, spare wings, flight.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
3-1.
First officer terrain and radar on.
Runway 4. Clearance on the west, stand by.
Flight leg. That's
Runway
the
4 via Bravo.
let's see what's the course. 317.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Flight directors are on. Oops. LNAV and BNAV can come on. Altimeter is still 2965. 10 miles visibility, broken at 6,500 and then broken again at 25,000 feet. Temperature is 1 degree Celsius. Wind is 290 at 19 knots, gusting 36.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
This is going to be a windy takeoff.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Anti-collision lights are on.
For that service. And once the forward and two doors closed, all cellular functions must be turned off. Cell phone system, Wi-Fi, electronic devices may be used in airplane mode for all phases of flight.
It sounds very different.
To make sure you meet all the criteria, if you do not or feel that harm would come to you performing those duties, just let us know.
That's engine 1 on, sorry, engine 2. Now for engine 1.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
So the V speeds have changed. One, four, four. Engines 1
Tow
and
is
2
disconnected
on the
and
bus.
bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Engine switches set to continuous. Parks left and right are on. I should have turned off the engine leads before, but better late than never. If you can go off. There's the bypass pin. Seatbelts should have been on before pushback. Whoops. Hydraulic pressure over 2,800 psi. There we go. Let's see, London altitude in Montreal.
Delta 1828, LaGuardia ground, pushing start approved, tail southwest.
Tail southwest, south 18.
I keep pressing Microsoft Flight Simulator shortcuts in the background. Probe heats are on. We've got runway turn off lights and taxi lights on. that's the sound of the flaps. The sounds have definitely improved, I'll say that much. And it's not like they were terrible before. LaGuardia ground, Delta 5531, ready to taxi. Propellers are off. Standby altimeter set to 2965.
531, runway 31, taxi via 9 or Alpha Zulu.
Taxiing via 9 Alpha Zulu, Delta 5531. Alright, I better see what that's about. Okay, so I'm basically on 9 already. 9 all the way to Alpha, then Zulu for runway 31. Release parking brake. To throttle armed. As hardware. I think first things first, let's do controls test, full front, full back, full left, full right. Hardware, there we go. I heard somewhere that the ground handling is much better. So let's see if we can do a sharp turn.
Working on that clearly. Stand by. Request permission to cross running 22.
It seems much better. What was I gonna do? Yes, XP realistic. Let's avoid. Okay, it's already linked, so that's fine. So that's taxiway Alpha, I think. Hold on. I believe I'm on taxiway Alpha. Yes, I am. Right, takeoff configuration warning test again. No problem. Auto brake set to RTO and unilluminated. Transponder can go to TRA. I don't think I was given a squawk code. Right. Departure briefing. Gusty winter departure out of LaGuardia on runway 31.
531, contact tower on 118.7. Have a good afternoon.
118.7. Good afternoon, Delta 5531. 118.7, I think is what they said.
Here is 4 Kilo Victor. Contact departure.
So that's taxiway Zulu here. LaGuardia Tower, Delta 5531, holding short of runway 31, ready for departure. Right, turbulence around, well, below 10,000 feet and aggressive wind, correction on rotation.
Delta 5531, LaGuardia Tower, runway 31, winds 290 at 19er, gusting 36. Fly runway heading cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, Delta 5531.
Approaching 3-1.
Landing lights on. Strobe lights. Looks like we need anti-ice.
On runway 31.
Trim 4.5. That's all good to go.
United 2199, contact departure. Starship 1 Alpha Sierra, contact departure.
Flaps are set. Weather radar on. Timer, toga. Rotate.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Landing gear up.
400. 1000.
Delta 5531, contact departure on 120.8.
120.8, Delta 5531. Flaps 1. LaGuardia departure, Delta 5531, passing flight level 3000, well, passing 3000 feet for flight level 350. Flaps off. That's me trying to multitask.
531 New York departure, not seeing you on radar. Cycle your transponder and ident again for me.
Confirm transponder code for Delta 5531.
Unable to confirm transponder code. Small code assignment is not provided by ATC.
3662.
Radar contact. 6 northwest of LaGuardia at 5600 feet. New York altimeter 2966. Climb and maintain flight level 300. Turn right heading 035. Vectors to Greek. Venice file.
Climbing flight level 300 Delta 5531. So to make SayIntentions work, I've had to leave the audio device's dialog box open, because anytime I close it, it just goes straight back to 0% or 1%, so I can't hear anything. The weather seems quite smooth for what I was expecting. Let's see if there's a way to get the rings, distance rings. There we go. That's more like it. Over 10,000 feet, so we can start to clean up. And just that switches to off, strobe lights off, anti-ice off. It feels like a window is still open. There we go. Right, let's turn off that and see our progress. I did try to install map enhancement, and I'm not sure whether it works or not. It looks like it. No, I'm not sure. I expected a bit more because I did have it on my former PC for a short period of time, and it looked more realistic. climbing to flight level 350, Delta 5531. To 5.575 Delta 5531. Delta 5531, passing 21,500 feet for flight level 350. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Why is it so loud in the cockpit? Anyway, altimeter is set to standard. Cabin crew released. Passengers as well. I'm not sure what's going on with Sim2 kids. Yeah, I think Sim2 Kit has crashed.
Contact Boston Center on 125.575.
125.575. That's literally the same frequency, no? 125.575. 125.575 Delta 5531. Let's see if I can load if I can fix SimBrief by line now. it's a bit strange because I haven't had any problems with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So not sure why this game's happening. Wait to start again. Boston Center Delta 5531 climbing to flight level 350. Doesn't look like Sim Toolkit Pro is going to work, so I'm just going to turn that layer off.
Expect Carter 55 will be first transition. Descent coming up in about 20 minutes.
Climbing to flight level 350, expecting descent in approximately 20 minutes. Delta 5531. 125.575 Delta 5531. Boston Delta 5531. Passing 31,000 feet for flight level 350. Good afternoon. Flight into flight level 350, Delta 5531. I'm not sure whether this is to do with the version 1 library. I know at the beginning I did say that it works, but for the most part it does. It's a nicely modeled plane. And now that it's in the air, you get to have a better view. Bit of turbulence there. With the crosswind, so if I press Shift 8, you should be able to see the plane flying sideways. There we go. So we're pointing left into the wind. This camera is meant to be on the track. See, this texture is quite good.
Contact Boston Center on 132.65.
132.65 Delta 5531. One 6.25.
1,000 to go.
Boston Center, United Delta 5531. Passing 34,000 feet for flight level 350. Good afternoon. I think I made a mistake with the frequency. It's meant to be 132. 132.65. I got the numbers wrong. Boston Center Delta 5531 at flight level 350. Good afternoon. Over 10,000, over 30,000 feet, so the angle, the limiter should have been set to 10 degrees. Yeah, as I was saying about this texture, it's kind of spoiled me, so when I got the PMDG, I expected the textures of this quality. Right, we should be approaching 2% in the next 11 minutes, so I'm just going to take a quick comfort break and I'll be back shortly. the next 25 miles, we should be descending. 24 miles, slightly behind schedule. Probably due to winds. And this is top of descent here. So far, the weather looks alright. There's no precipitation expected. So I've already set the altitude to 4,000 feet. Actually, let me put it at 10,000 just to be safe. And then I will advise ATC that I'll be ready to descend in 10 minutes. Or actually no, in 2 minutes. Boston Center, Delta 5531, ready to descend.
Delta 5531, descend via Carter 5, Peaburg, transition into Montreal, altimeter 2943.
Descending via Carter into Montreal, altimeter 2943, Delta 5531. Altimeter 2943. That's quite low. What's that in QNH? 997. Okay, I've done lower than that before. Right, so this is what the cabin looks like, refreshed. Let's see what the business class seats look like. The screens don't work, unfortunately, unlike the PMDG. There we go, so we're beginning our descent. The departure out of LaGuardia was quite busy. They had unknown drone activities, and you could see how busy the airport was as well. Let's get our checklist. Right, descent weather. Altimeter is 2946 at the airport, 15 miles visibility. At 16 knots, gusting 29. think. Yep. We need some drag. Latest is 133.7. QNH received. We are heading to runway 24 right. Visibility is 15 miles, so there's no need for the low visibility chart. 24 right, and where's the terminal? Guessing that's the terminal. That's the terminal. Okay. Right, so let's start with the important chart, which is the approach plate. .7 is for English ATIS. You want it in French 127.5. Let's call explains buff and see if that works. Actually, perhaps not explain. Chat Fox. Right, we're slow enough. Below 30,000 feet, so bank angle limiter can go to 25 degrees. Wireless frequency is 111.9. Let's try French. lighthouse information, Mike. Flaps 15 at 155 knots. Which point is that? Relax. Where's relax? That's at 1,500 feet. .2 miles away from the runway, so that's final approach. So we're flying too low now. Which is 3,000 feet. Minimum's 200. I think that's all. Map enhancement. Yep, that's map enhancement. Finally seems to be working. Right, navigation frequency course is set, intermediate approach fix. I have abandoned that and put it as 3,000 feet, which is probably too low. Landing performance 2-4 right. QNH is 998. Wind 270 and I'll just put the gust speed, which is 28 knots. Say again for Delta 5531.
Delta 5531, contact Montreal approach on 134.15.
134.15 Delta 5531. So that's a frequency which is not here.
Delta 5531, contact Montreal approach on 125.15.
125.15 Delta 531. Montreal approach Delta 5531, passing 12,000 feet, descending to 3,000 feet. I hope I've got the right frequency.
Delta 5531, Montreal approach. Good afternoon. Montreal altimeter 2940. Cleared for the ILS runway 24 right approach into Montreal.
Cleared for ILS runway 24 approach Delta 5531. Now it's getting a bit darker. Let's get some lights going. Right, so we might be lucky with SayIntentions and they might end up giving us a shortcut.
Traffic. Monitor vertical speed.
Oops. We're past 10,000 feet, so runway turn off lights and landing lights are on. Strobe lights can come on. Belts.
Clear of conflict.
Landed weight is 131. One 31686. Your anti-ice aircon is on. So we've got a long enough runway, but because of the wind I'm still going to go for auto brake 3. It's a bit of a grey day in Montreal. That's Bravo 4 taxiway, which is well, I imagine this would be Bravo 4. This is Papa 3. But on the side, they haven't got any taxiway names. I guess we'll find out. Actually, hold on. Bravo 4. Yeah, so Bravo 4 brings me in front of gate 61. I'll just cancel that one. There's the airport. Right, landing performance done. I don't think the lighting actually works in the daytime. No. Right, engine start switch is already set to continuous. There's no reason for the wings to freeze or the engine. Barometer is set. Standby altimeter can be set. Yep, it's alive. So just in time because I'm approaching the airspeed bug for flaps off speed. And once I get there, it'll be flaps 1 to slow down. What's the missed approach altitude? 3,000 feet, which is good. So for the next 3-4 miles, I'll be maintaining 4,000 feet.
To go.
Flaps 1. bit too far to see the airport from here. Flaps 2. Flaps 5. Flaps 15.
Delta 5531, contact Montreal Tower on 119.3 when established.
119.3, Delta 5531. .3. So once I'm on localizer, I'll let them know. Landing gear down. Where's the checklist? Done all of that. Montreal Tower, Delta 5531 on localizer for runway 24 right. Right, what was my speed meant to be? Perhaps plus 11 is a bit too much now. Can I change it? Yeah, plus 5 is okay. 139. That's the airport. Approach.
Welcome to Montreal. Contact ground on 121.0. 121.0, Echo Switch.
Recall. Speed brake. Armed. Flaps 40.
5531, Montreal Tower, winds 280 at 16, gusting 29er. Runway 24 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 24 right, Delta 5531. Right, final approach. Can increase speed to 139.
2500.
A proper crosswind. like the lights have gone off. Okay, it's back again. I'm not sure what happened there. Right, checklist. I think I was on descent procedure 202. That's all done. That's done too. Taxi light is on. Right, so what I'm going to do is disconnect the autopilot but leave the auto throttle on.
Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Got throttle. No break in.
Delta 5531, contact ground on 121.0.
121.0, Delta 5531. The throttle.
Before you leave the aircraft, please be sure to check your seat pockets, the overhead bins, and the floor area around your seat frame.
Let's watch a replay. Actually, let's set park and brake first. Approach rating poor. Landing was 4 stars out of 5, I think. Oh, 5 stars. Okay, good. I like that. Right, toggle video recording, replay.
Air Canada 112, contact departure.
Air Canada 112, airborne runway 24 right. Air Canada 112, airborne runway 24 right.
Delta 5531, winds 280 at 16, gusting 29er. Runway 24 right, cleared to land.
contact departure on 134.15, Air France 112. Departure Air France 112, altitude 2000 feet.
531 Montreal Tower, say altitude.
Air Transat 271, contact departure.
It didn't look perfect to me, but I'll take it.
Contact departure. Contact departure, that's 45, good day.
Right, which frequency was I given for ground? I'll stop the timer for now. Montreal Tower, Delta 5531. Say again, ground frequency.
Delta 5531, ground frequency is 121.0.
121.0. Delta 5531. I ended up having a good landing, which is good. Very rare. The only thing I noticed was that the rudder doesn't turn in the replay. It works now, but on a replay it doesn't. Montreal ground, Delta 5531, clear of runway 24 right on taxiway Echo. Got to break off.
Delta 5531, Montreal ground, taxi to USA Terminal Gate 76 via Bravo 2, Bravo, Bravo 4, South Apron, West Taxiway. Have a good day.
Say again for Delta 5531.
Delta 5531, Montreal ground, taxi to USA Terminal Gate 76 via Bravo 2, Bravo, Bravo 4, South Apron, West Taxiway. Have a good day.
Gate USA 776 via Bravo 2, Bravo, Bravo 4, South Apron Taxiway, Delta 5531. At least I think that's what they said. That's Taxiway Echo. Taxiway Echo, so Taxiway Bravo is just here. Release parking brake. So that's east apron, west apron, or south apron. I think it's probably around here, main apron. Landing lights are off.
Yeah, Romeo, Alpha 5, contact tower on 119, decimal 3, Vision Jet Mike Hotel Hotel. Montreal ground, Air Canada 664, request 45 start, Airbus A330, gate 52.
Right, reversers are set. Weather and terrain radar can come off. Strobe lights off. Transponder set to standby. That's Bravo 2. Which seems to be on the runway.
Approaching 10.
Which is clear. Just a bit more power. Now how do I find 76? Okay, so it's all the way around.
November 6 liner terminal with IFR flight plan to Boston Logan, requesting IFR clearance. Standby.
Runway vacated. Yeah, the ground handling has definitely improved. Doesn't slide around like before. Flight directors off. Air speed, bug. Oops, other way. That's 100. Trim to 4 units, that's done. Right, which gate is this? 64. I'm looking for 76.
24 Juliet, we have the traffic.
Which is empty. Good.
0024 Juliet. Continuing as filed to Halifax. Maintaining flight level 20024 Juliet.
24 Juliet, roger. Continuous file to Halifax, CYHZ. Maintain flight level 200.
Light in, medium. Probe heats off. And there should be gate 76. Cut throttle. Runway turn off and taxi lights are off. Oops. APU is on. What's coming up?
Air Transit 485. You are on ground frequency. Contact tower on 124.3 for departure clearance.
It's like the AutoGate doesn't work properly.
This is tower frequency for Montreal.
Let's see, can I change the setting here? Nope, can't. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't look like the AutoGate thing works at all. Because I certainly can't see AutoGate. Plug in AviTab. Better pushback, ground handling, LiveTraffic, SAM, SayIntentions plugin, terrain radar, XRAS. Nah, there's no AutoGate. Okay, so I guess I'll fix that for the next flight. So I've basically overshot. Oh snap. Button brake set.
Air Canada 7773, ready for departure. Switching to power for departure on Air Canada 7773, bye-bye.
Air Canada 7773, you are on ground
Installation
frequency.
valve
Contact tower for
open
departure
and
clearance.
engines can come off. Right, welcome to Montreal. Thanks for joining me on yet again another flight, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Let me know if you've got any suggestions of places that you want to see on Explain or Microsoft Flight Simulator. Always open to new adventures, preferably in an airliner. Ground handling, stairs, ground power units, passenger buses and luggage. Ground power.
Rouge 1974, contact tower on 119.3 so long.
there we go. So while ground services are coming up, enjoy the scenery. Another freeway at Montreal. I'm not quite sure how I feel about explain map enhancement, gelling with certain structures. So where it gels with the default scene, it looks a bit weird.
5350 at the stand, ready for push and start.
But yeah, see you on the next one.